I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, welcome to Zero Hit Points, everybody, for October 21st. It's the week of that. I'm Ryan Miller, and is that a new Goonies shirt, Matt? Nope. Okay. Is that a new movie coming out?
I had this shirt for like 3 years.
Oh, well, forget it then. Hold on, let me read you this intro. Welcome to Zero Hit Points.
You did it.
Is that an old Goonies shirt, Matt?
Sure is. Glad we're retreading this information.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Me neither. What are we talking about? Anything?
I'm talking about video games. I'm not, but we will on this one that we do, the Zero Hit Points one.
Yeah.
So if you want, you can terminate this line of questioning altogether.
I have not played any games, so before you even ask, let's just get into that.
You're terminating every line of questioning.
That's the goal. I haven't seen Dark Fate yet, but I'm going to be a Terminator.
November 1st. That's some surprises coming on the movie show this week, Book Club for Movies. Check that one out. I happen to know for a fact you played upwards of 30 minutes of Borderlands with me this week.
It's true, and I have nothing to say about it. It's a waste of talk.
Did you experience any nerfing that you thought?
No. I know they did, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah,
I haven't played the game enough to know.
Yes,
I'm not far enough.
Might be.
I have garbage guns still, so this game is stupid, and I'm not playing it.
That's why when people complain, I was like, ooh, rookie mistake. You played enough of the game to know.
Yeah, exactly. Stop playing games,
so,
get a taste, and then let it fester.
Which actually, strangely enough, I didn't stop playing games this week. I think any other week you could make the argument that I have stopped playing games. Somehow this week I got a few in.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Some of them are familiar. Remember the Black Ops 2?
Mm-hmm.
So I finished that, rolled credits on that, like I said I would, so also making good on promises here.
Nice. That's a first for either of us.
I forgot lots of stuff that I heard through the grapevine about that game. I think foremost of which is that it ends... Well, it ends...
That's good.
It ends with a David Goyer credit, number one. I didn't see that coming. Lots of credit surprises for me this week, actually. That'll be another Book Club for Movies thing.
Okay.
See. But yeah, David Goyer had story stuff in there, which I think makes perfect sense because I think that's a pretty solid story. Like, it's over the top, it's crazy, but it's pretty great.
So it's as good as Suicide Squad then?
Oh, come on. Did he have a writing credit on that too?
No, it was the other guy.
Okay.
It was...
I think you're thinking of the director, right?
David Ayer.
Yeah. No, Goyer's done. I mean, Dark Knight is probably the one.
3.
So. He's done a bunch of stuff. Yeah, he's
so
out
he's
there.
Definitely got talent, or doesn't.
I think he definitely has an eye to genre, is what it might be.
All right.
And he knew what Black Ops was, and I think very correctly helped. I don't know what kind of role he had, and I mean, it's directed still largely by the same guy who did Black Ops 1, 2, and I think 3 as well, the Treyarch director. So
yeah,
names
from Treyarch.
I just saw that credit. I was like, oh yeah, that fits. That makes sense. Then it ends after the credits with a music video by Avenged Sevenfold.
Ugh. Just stop. What did you play after that?
I think the first one might have ended with a rap music video by something. I don't know.
Ugh.
Yes, I understand. I don't have anything against Avenged Sevenfold, but I'm not a fan or listener.
Definitely think they're bad.
Okay. But if you saw this thing, I feel like it would be a piece of Avenged Sevenfold content that you would smirk at least.
As long as
you wouldn't hate this thing as much as anything else.
As long as it was muted and I could listen to another band, probably love it.
It's just ridiculous because it starts with like a character intro and that you are characters from the game because it's in game, it's in-engine footage that they've created.
Naturally.
And one of the guitarists is Raul Mendez. Again, why can't I remember the name of the huge bad guy in that? Part of the reason the story is compelling is they do what Treyarch does best a lot of the times is they focus on a big bad and build him out in really interesting ways. This time they gave him some motivations that I thought were actually fairly novel too. So did some cool stuff with that story. But he is like it opens on him playing guitar, but also with like pre-show jitters. Like, I think I'm gonna throw up, but it's bizarre.
Ridiculous.
There's no way I could do it justice, but it's there.
All right.
Old news, I know. Also rolled credits on, well, I guess as credits as you can with Goose Game.
Oh, sure.
And by we, if I said we, I don't think I did. I mean, my daughter did. I still just watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
It became increasingly harder to not give input because she also gives up really fast. Like, she'll be like, I don't know how to get this. Like, what do I do? There's no way to do it. And I'm like, okay, everybody in this game wants something.
Figure it out.
It's basically, yes, just figure it out. Like, try different things. And she'll look at me and be like, I tried everything. And I'll be like, no,
Clearly you did not.
no, you did not.
If you tried everything, one of them would have worked.
So
You tried 9 things.
it became increasingly hard not to just be like, dude, that's still harder for my wife. Way harder. Like, just blurting everything every which way out. Like, literally started running her fingers through her hair. She might have just been doing her hair, but to me it looked like she was pulling out her hair trying not to say things. Fun, great game. I'm not going to say any more about it to save some for an end of the year show that we typically do.
Sure. Fair enough.
So that's that. I did not roll credits on Yoku's Island Express, but played probably more of that than anything else this week.
I don't know what that is.
It's that pinball platformer we talked about.
Oh,
not too
yes.
long. Yes.
Got it.
It's got the title that everybody knows.
Right.
Yoku's Island Express. You are the new postmaster on an island. I have now got the power to put mail into mailboxes. So things are going pretty good.
All right. It sounds like you start off as more of an apprentice to a postman than anything.
I'm very early on in
You're
the game.
learning
I think is what it
the
was.
ropes of postmanship.
Actually, I'm 20% into the game, I could say. I think it's got a timer on there. Or whatever, meter.
Nope, timer is right.
Okay. So that game builds its world in probably the most fun way I've seen in a game in a long, long time.
Bold statements from Ryan Miller.
I think I probably mentioned Banjo-Kazooie last time we talked about it. It's very much that type of game.
Yeah.
But it's just done super well here. Like, there's a bunch of different characters, and they're all referencing different pasts and desires, I guess. I don't know. But I found a temple, and you go through the temple, and it's kind of like, remember the end of God of War, I think? Where you find all those like carvings on the wall that tell a story.
Sure.
So this is God of War, I guess.
Basically the same game, just with pinball.
You find carvings on the wall and you run through, and meanwhile you're doing the same thing, pinballing and platforming, and you're reading the story as it goes. And it just was really cool, the way they've done it and the way it looks and just how it all fits into the overarching narrative of that thing, what you're trying to do, which I believe is, so there's a god eater.
Sure.
And he ate all the gods.
Yeah, well, he's hungry.
Except for one who got away with like a life egg. And I have now come upon the life egg, but also that god that escaped is dormant for some reason. So I'm trying to wake him up in some way while new god eater symbols are appearing, like his arrival or re-arrival is imminent in some way.
It is being foretold.
Yes. It's just really cool. I'm coming to really, really enjoy that world beyond the gameplay, which I think is still really solid.
Nice.
If I had to say a single negative thing about it.
And you do.
So all the pinballing is wrapped up in that world, which is an island. And so the like corridors and the whole table is like an earthen thing, you know? Like it's all taking place in the dirt. It might feel a little sloppy here and there. It doesn't quite feel like a mechanical thing sometimes, like a pinball, like a metal made something, you know?
Sure.
I don't know. Again,
fleshy pinball is weirder than regular pinballs.
That might be all. Yes, I'm just grasping. I think it doesn't ruin the game in the slightest. But if they remade it and it was like sci-fi or something and just bespoke, like if the whole thing was a pinball table and looked like it could exist in real life, that would be probably amazing. So
be kind of cool to have it like have the have the platformer be the pinball machine, and then when you're finished with the pinball machine, it like does a pull out, and then you can see what the actual machine would have been. Like what
it does
the
that.
table would be. Like that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's in the game. It pulls out pretty much every time you're given a new mission. It'll pull out and show you where it's at because there's a fog of war that covers places where you haven't been. And you can kind of see at that point, like, oh, that's a table right there. That's a table right there. And you're kind of platforming between them.
Yeah, all right.
It's a cool game, man.
This
Really
sounds
cool.
good.
Yeah. That's all I played. Those are all of the games.
That's it. There are no other games exist, so that'll be that.
I would save more on that also for an end of the year show if this wasn't. At best, this came out last year.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can talk about it on whatever you want because
it's true. It'll come up.
To be fair, it's your show and you could do what you want.
It's our show and I can do what you want.
Well, in the case of the editing, it is your show.
Oh, fair. Okay.
You have the ultimate control here. Never forget.
I'm editing that part out, by the way.
Yeah, we're basically the 9/11 of podcasts.
Ooh.
Never forget.
311?
No, God, that's way worse.
What a disaster.
Yeah.
No games you want to talk about? Mention?
No.
No? Okay.
I didn't play anything. I was
okay.
I was busy all week, man.
Card games?
Nope. I did not play. Like all we did
Tabletop.
this week, we did do a puzzle, and we got pissed because
freaking knew it.
The last I don't even know how you do this. How do you send a puzzle out and miss 8 pieces?
Whoa, what? Did you buy this on eBay or something?
No, it was a brand new puzzle. We went to a game store a month ago. We were looking for a puzzle. It was the weekend after you sent us the Nintendo puzzle. We finished that. We were like, oh, let's go get a new puzzle.
Oh man, I gave you the bug.
And then, it's something nice to have we they're easy to do. It's fun.
Kind of crazy.
But we started doing this, and this is listen to how old I am. We were we were sitting around the table drinking
Ovaltine.
having drinks, listening to football on AM radio. The only thing that could have made me older is if I said I was sitting there smoking a tobacco pipe, and I had something else going for me. I was wearing a sweater vest and and khakis, and I got some slippers on. Yeah, but
doing a puzzle.
The craziest thing is it's 8 pieces in a corner.
That's crazy, man.
It's so aggravating.
So you say you bought this from a game store?
Yeah, it's a game and puzzle store.
Or did you buy it from a game store that sometimes repackages used items as new?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Right.
We filled out all the information. We sent away for the pieces, so they're gonna send us.
Oh man, you're hardcore. I love sending away for stuff.
Yeah, no, we're sending away for it because we're gonna do what you did to us. We're gonna start sending puzzles that we finished to people randomly.
If you want in on the puzzle exchange, email us at. Just kidding. There's no email. If you can't do it,
you could Matt at 0HITPOINTS.com, sure, or podcast at 0HITPOINTS.com.
I'm gonna warn you though. I thought initially that puzzles might be covered under media mail because they should be. They're not. So it's not exactly cheap to mail a puzzle.
Well, thank goodness.
Yeah.
It's always worth my dollars to make sure somebody else has to waste their time doing a thing that you put together all these pieces and then you look at it and go, neat. And then you take it all apart right away. We had that thing taken apart. I think I took a picture of it and sent it to you. It was taken apart before that message ever got across the I took the picture. I hit send before that message left my phone. After hitting send, that puzzle was apart.
You're kicking the table over with your
foot. It was apart. It was already in the box. It was mailed off to somebody at that point.
Yeah. Puzzles are fun.
Yeah, so you're going to get this one. It was pretty good, actually. It's a pretty good puzzle.
Wife always been real big into puzzles. Not that I've never done one, but you're right. They're fun to have around. we don't have the space for it. That's the other thing. That's why you take them apart so quick, is because it's ruining your life.
What are you gonna do with it? I mean, unless you're like,
well, you're gonna frame it.
So my mom actually did that.
Yeah, that happens.
She used to do puzzles all the time, and she would get that. There's like puzzle preserver or whatever that you paint on,
right? Like a shellac.
Yeah, basically, and it like glues the thing together, and then you can flip it over and you put it on the other side. She had like puzzle boards, so like you could put the puzzle in this thing, and then it would hold all the pieces down, and you could move it around and like walk with it or take it to your friend's house, because everybody like, hey, let's have a game night, I brought a puzzle, by the way, together. Who is that idiot? Who is the person that's like, hey, let's have a game night, I'm going to invite 10 people come over, like, hey, I brought Sorry, hey, I've got Betrayal at House on the Hill, hey, I got Bang, hi guys, I brought a puzzle.
This is a wide range. Also, it's going to have to, if you're bringing it to, this doesn't actually happen, right? This is why we're making fun of it.
No, it has happened.
You would have to bring like a 10-piece puzzle. Who could finish a puzzle within a night? Is that a thing?
It apparently is.
No. Nope.
All right. I've been wrong in the past. This is a time that I am also wrong.
So, yes, don't feel obligated to puzzle me.
Oh, I'm not
any more than with your normal personality.
I don't feel obligated at any point. At this, it's more of a I want to torture you as you torture me. Good. So
you were going to send me some Rick and Morty puzzle that looked largely black.
Oh yeah, we got rid of that. We both were like, this is not okay to do to anybody.
Worst puzzle I've ever done is my son likes sharks, so we're like, oh, let's get a shark puzzle, and I saw one that was like that. What is it? It's not ventricular. That's like your heart.
Lenticular.
Lenticular. Thank you. Which makes my heart flutter.
Sure.
But it was a shark, and then it was lenticular, so we could like see different. I don't know. Could not, and it wasn't so much even that made it horrible. It was that then it was cut stupid, so different pieces fit in different spots perfectly.
Oh yeah.
The cardinal puzzle sin.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Not a fan.
We're actually to the point where we're buying brands to check them out, so that doesn't happen again.
Sure.
And the one we sent you, feel like Springbok?
I honestly have no idea. It's somewhere.
We heard good things about, and it was fine, but it was almost a little too weird. Like there ended up being really tiny pieces that there's no way. You just have to do everything around them before you figure out where they go. Like there's no way. Did you get those?
Well, I mean, we finished the puzzle, so
you did. It's finishable, I guess.
It's real hard for me to tell you what. Like, it only took us like 3 days.
You remember the piece that's like it's got the thing,
and it's got the wide angle on one side.
See,
I hate it. That stupid piece.
Puzzles. Hey, did you hear about these things?
Nope.
Like, I still always wait for an answer.
I said no.
Because we're good newsers. Good and competent, thorough newsers. There's an update to this Hong Kong thing. If you want to hear about the recents on that,
do we want to? I mean,
this is a two-way street. I have a list of things here. I ask if you've heard about them. You never have. I tell you about them. You tell me if you want to talk about them.
Okay, let's put it this way. People are still getting banned. Other people are not getting banned. And that, I think, really sums it all up. Oh, and also...
I like this. I tell you the headline, and you tell me what the actual item is.
They're trying to like ban words on Twitch, and then they're like, we didn't do that. And it's like, yeah, you did. All right, that's all. Also,
yeah, they're actually going through some of the ones I didn't pull, too. The one I did pull having to do with this was... I thought maybe a plus of this whole thing having happened is there was a guy, Hall of Famer Li Shi-tian, who won at a Magic the Gathering tournament and said he was inspired by Blitzchung, the guy who got banned by Blizzard, or I guess, he's still banned, but they shortened it or something, right?
Correct.
Whatever. Said he was inspired by that and also spoke out upon his win. So good that... This is how word spreads. This is how things get done.
Yep.
In a lot of ways. But also that then Wizards of the Coast said, yeah, sure, cool.
What, they don't care. I mean, Wizards of the Coast is one of those companies where it's like, okay, you guys want to stop playing Magic? All right.
Me too. I was getting a little tired of it. What do you guys want to do now?
This game's been going on for like 20 some years. Let me tell you guys. I don't see Wizards giving too much of a crap at this point.
Anyway, so I thought maybe a good update to that whole thing. I'm sure there's a bunch of bad ones out there.
Yeah, no, everybody's dying, so there's that.
Oh man, did you hear about this thing though? The Analogue guys, right? They did the Analogue Mini,
yes.
the NT Mini, NT Mini, Super NT. I own the NT Mini and the Super NT. They're doing a Game Boy one now, the Analogue Pocket.
Huh.
Oh, you haven't seen this?
No.
Okay. Where do you land on this? Because I bought the Analogue NT Mini and the Super NT because I own those consoles, have my cartridges largely, even though I bought some more to make up for whatever.
Lost time, sure.
I never had a Game Boy.
Sure.
And now it's not like, oh, I had one of these, so I want to get one of these. It's like, oh, I never had one, so I want to get one of these. So it's kind of like no matter what, I'm going to get this thing, I feel like, but I don't know why. I don't have a Game Boy cartridge to speak of. It just looks gorgeous, man. You got to get a look at this screen. It plays Game Boy Advance, and
Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color, yeah, thank you. Out of the box.
Yeah,
with
cool.
Promise of adapters for Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket, Atari Lynx cartridges, along with some other unannounced classic portables. So
that's
I'm sure this will be extra
for sure.
Yeah,
it's more interesting to me than the Game Boy.
So I'm gathering maybe this isn't necessarily moving the dial over on your end, but
no, I like none of those. The thing with those games is like Game Boy, Game Gear, the Lynx, those were really cool because you could take them with you. Like, I mean, it's like the Switch, right? Like in 20 years, you'll look back at the Switch and go, man, I don't want to play those games necessarily, but it was cool at the time. None of the games on the Game Boy were good. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I guess to me, none of the Game Boy games that are in existence are worth going back to for me.
Okay.
It's not worth
it.
I
get what you're
saying.
Like
the Game Gear and the Lynx are the same way. You know, there were games that I really liked playing on them. Don't care anymore. Like, it's just not, they're not going to, I don't want to watch, like, if it's going to be, especially if it's doing the 1-to-1 thing where it's like, here, you're going to watch it and it's going to be the Game Boy screen. I don't want to play that. It sucks. Man, playing things on that original Game Boy, especially now, is just, it's like, it's tantamount to playing Super Mario Brothers on your watch.
I mean, it's not messing with the color. Like, the games will look like the games. It's just that the screen is, if I can find the actual specs on it.
Yeah, I'm guessing
that incredibly sharp. As
right.
You might imagine.
It's the souped up version of it.
Backlit, the whole nine. You know, that deluxe feature.
Right. Yeah. No, it does nothing for me.
Okay.
All right.
I'm.
You never played any of those things, so I get why.
Me neither. Like, I've never even handled those other consoles. I've touched a Game Boy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like you've never played those, so I get why you would want to do that. Like, it makes sense.
Oh, okay. So this makes more. I'm more right now than I was before.
Well, you were never wrong. I just don't care.
Interesting.
It's not something like at this point, if I was going to buy any of those things, it would be a Genesis of some type, so I could play like the Immortal, and maybe Mutant League Hockey.
So the other thing that comes up whenever a new analog device comes out is that the things get jailbroken, right? Like my NT Mini plays any 8-bit console. There's cores you can download for it, blah, blah, blah. The Super NT a little less so, but there was a jailbreak that came out. I think it just allowed you to copy and play ROMs, which is another. I like the idea of having downloaded my cartridges that I had when I was a kid.
Sure.
To play whenever I want. I mean, it's dumb because I can also download the exact same thing from some site, or at least I could. I guess they've been sued largely out of existence. I would have to go through more nefarious means.
Sure.
At this point. But you mentioned in those other games, like, it's the other part of this is, what are they going to do? How is this going to be jailbroken? I can't imagine it'll ever be jailbroken to play Genesis stuff like you said. This is, again, the thing with Analogue is they use the FPGA field programmable gate array, which allows for a hardware level emulation, even though it's not emulation, it's just the hardware at that point. And for the consoles it's coming out through HDMI, so you can 1080p, and it's 1:1. Yeah, it's true, all that blah. This is also using an FPGA, but typically there is a ceiling. The NT Mini, no matter what you do, that FPGA can't be made to do the 16-bit stuff,
right?
For whatever reason. So I don't think we're going to see Genesis games on this, but
no, you wouldn't. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense if it's all mobile stuff. I mean, that's all handheld. So,
but I'm friggin' excited about that too. Like what this does get turned into, down the road. So
that's cool.
Yeah, and it looks gorgeous too. Just look it up if you haven't. But Analogue Pocket. There you go.
There you go.
Do you, having played League of Legends fairly recently, honestly, want to hear anything about this new League stuff?
Nope.
Okay.
Not even a little bit.
Well, they did a stream. I guess it was more of a Riot stream. Do you care about any upcoming Riot games?
No. I know they've got a new game based on LOL coming out, but it's something else. Whatever.
They've got a few. They've got an animated series, Project F. They haven't told anybody about. They're doing a tactical shooter.
That's what it was, I think.
They're also doing a card game and mobile versions, mobile and consoles of League. They're calling it Wild Rift for whatever reason, and a fighting game.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds like Riot's doing work.
These last three things were basically just kind of feel-gooderies, like only in games type things that I saw. And I mean, normally there's at least one or two of these a week. There were 3 this week, and I was like, these are just funny. Like these are just things that you read about, and you're like, yeah, sure, it's 2019. Okay. That's the only excuse I can think of.
Fair enough.
One is that a speedrunner for the Simpsons Hit and Run has offered $700 to anybody that can come up with a way to bypass the need to grind coins in that game.
Sure.
I guess this takes up, the speedrun is somewhere around 3 hours, and the coin grinding takes up 20 full minutes of that at the very least. So I don't know if you want to make some quick cash there, Matt.
I don't remember that game at all. I remember finding all those things, and it was a pain.
Arguably one of the best Simpsons games. Really?
No, I mean, I remember. I don't. Yeah, it's.
You hit a guy and he says, "I regret everything," or something. I forget. They all had like little blurbs that would come out every time you hit them.
Sure.
You could hit people, run them over.
No? That was a fun game. I just don't remember it. Like, I know I played it. I don't remember anything about it.
All right. Maybe this one then. There's a guy out there that says he will drive nonstop in GTA 5 until GTA 6 launches.
Okay. Sounds like a...
This is why I love these items so much, is because I read them and I'm just like, I'm shaking my head, much like you are shaking your head right now. But it's more along the lines of, okay, this is ridiculous. I tell you this and you shake your head, but it's more along the lines of, what are we doing?
Yeah, I just don't... We as a
people and as podcasters,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, okay.
We as a people are like, we're clearly supporting this. We're promoting it.
I don't mean to promote these other than to say, look how weird this is.
People are so stupid.
Where we are. I don't know. If anything, this is the dumbest one because GTA 6 is not there. There's all sorts of, in this article, highfalutin talk about a 2020 release. That game's not coming out in 2020.
Dude, if that game comes out before 2022, I'll be surprised.
Exactly. If they announce it in 2020, I'll give them still nothing, but that game is not coming out anytime soon.
I don't think so.
So keep driving, I guess. He's got to have it hooked up to a bot. I don't know. There's some conjecture as to how this is handled.
Rubber bands.
Okay. Well, gee. I don't know how you're going to feel about this last one then. It's more of a positive thing. It's more of a I love that games can be in this place thing.
I already don't like it.
No? Okay. Steam's one of Steam's best-selling games at the moment is as close as you can get to a one-to-one recreation of Chernobyl's disaster zone.
Oh, good. If it was in VR, that would be even cooler.
That should be something to look into, actually. That's, let me see. Farm 51 is the name of the developer. The name of the game is Chernobylite. which is that, are they playing on Chernobylite there? Is that? No. That
I hope not.
Okay. Was built by developers who traveled to Ukraine and 3D scanned the actual exclusion zone, quote unquote, which is a huge area.
It is a very large area.
I just actually extra love it when games do this type of thing. Like LA Noire, that was probably far and above the best thing about it, even though I really like the story and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for
just
sure.
that creation of 50s LA was amazing.
Yeah.
I would love to see more games that do this, like faithfully, like one-to-one recreate environments and then kind of build a game in there somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
It seems fascinating.
Assassin's Creed kind of does it, but not.
Yeah, and I like them for that. Arguably one of my favorite parts of those games.
It's definitely the best part of the games for me is the historical locations.
So I mean, I'll probably never play this thing, but
No.
I think it's still just early access at this point, but it exists.
Yeah, that's
so
great.
Games are crazy.
Go to Chernobyl or go to Chernobyl in video game. Either way, get your irradiation on.
So I should have led with that one, is what you're saying.
Possibly.
Probably, okay.
Yeah. Real life Fallout.
And ended on the two downers?
Yeah. I mean, look, sometimes you got to Empire Strikes Back your day.
Oh, I see. Oh, all right. I could have Empire Struck Back.
You could have struck back
the show.
Yeah. I mean, you still can. You can edit this however you want.
You're right. It's my show. 0HITPOINTS.com, everybody. If you want to hang out, that's where we are sometimes. Or you can email us, podcast at 0HITPOINTS.com. Also Facebook, Twitter, as always. If you want to come back later this week, we're doing Dog Soldiers for Book Club for Movies.
That's
as
right.
part of October Ween 2...
The Wiener.
Season of the Witch. Oh, sorry, that's taken. Also, it's 3, isn't it?
Either way.
I don't know how I know so much about Halloween movies when I've only seen the first one.
Because you are very well read.
About John Carpenter. Go back last week for The Fog. Or don't.
Yeah, no, do. John Carpenter.
And that's going to be what we do. Oh, no, I'm stuck in a end of the show loop.
Bye!
Got no good ending. Oh, there it is. Okay.